In the Yukon, survival begins before the first animal moves. Snow falls without wind across the spruce, and for a moment, the forest looks empty. It is not. A line of tracks crosses the white, then another and another. A cat with paws too wide for its body drifts between the trees. A wolf follows an old trail, its coat the color of ash. Beneath a bent bough, a hare sits frozen still. Here the hunters seem to hold every advantage, yet each of them waits on something it cannot summon and cannot command. A rise and fall of prey that keeps its own time. The winter looks ruled by its predators. The question is whether they rule it or merely follow. She moves like a rumor through the spruce. Grey on grey, silent, a cat built wide in the foot and light on the surface. She crosses a drift that would bury a heavier animal and leaves almost nothing behind. Her broad paws spread on the powder. She does not sink. For a hunter her size, the deep snow is an ally rather than an obstacle, and everything about her, the wide paws, the muffled step, the patience, is tuned to one animal. The spruce forest in deep winter holds a silence with weight to it. Snow loads every bough until the trees bend, and sound dies in the soft white before it travels. Nothing moves that does not need to. Cold like this is a tax on motion, and every animal that endures here has learned to spend as little as it can. The lynx spends almost nothing. She drifts, she pauses, she reads the wood with ears and eyes, and she waits for the forest to make its one small mistake. Beneath a bent bough, a shape sits so still it reads as stone. White on white, ears folded, a hare holds motionless against the cold and against the eyes it cannot see. It has traded its brown summer coat for one matched to the snow, and the disguise is nearly total. Nearly. The lynx does not need the whole animal. A dark eye, the seam of an ear, a track pressed too fresh, any one of these is enough. The stalk is always slow. She lowers her weight, sets each foot without sound, and closes the distance the way water closes over a stone. Again and again through the winter, this is how she feeds. A short rush across the powder that ends in the snow before it has settled. When the hares are many, more of those rushes end in a meal than end in nothing, and the surplus becomes milk and warmth for kittens that have never known a hungry year. This is the shape of her life right now. She is winning. The forest is thick with hares. Their forms dot the understory. Their runs braid every thicket, and a cat that can travel on snow collects an easy toll on all of it. But abundance like this is never a fact. It is a phase. The turn is already gathering, though nothing on the surface shows it yet. Crowd the hares together, and the hunters that live on them multiply in step, and food and predation begin to press on the population at once. The long study of this country has found no single cause behind the fall. Hunger alone does not force it, and the decline arrives through predation and food working together rather than either one apart. It does not arrive gently. Roughly every 10 years, the many become the few in the space of a season or two, a rhythm the North has kept for as long as anyone has counted. The lynx cannot read the turn. She reads only hunger, and for now she carries none. But her body has bound its whole fortune to a count she does not keep, the number of hares in the wood. When that number holds, she raises more of her young through the winter. When it collapses, her kittens are the first to thin, and she will range for miles across emptied country after a prey that has simply gone. So her fortune is not really hers. It is a figure written in hare tracks and hunting seasons, tallied out on a clock she cannot see and cannot hurry. When the figure holds, she is the picture of ease. When it falls, she becomes a gaunt shadow crossing ground that has emptied around her, and nothing in her body can change it. She cannot change what she is, cannot turn to larger prey or wider ground. Her whole body is an argument for one animal and one type of snow. So she stays and waits and hunts the clock. Down valley, where the spruce thins into willow and slow water, other hunters have made the opposite wager. They have staked their lives not on the smallest dependable meal in the north, but on the largest and most dangerous one. The spruce thins and lets the land open. Willow and alder crowd the banks of a frozen river, and the snow lies thick over marsh that ran with water a season ago. This is lower, wetter country, and the animals that own it are built to a different scale. They come down the valley in a loose grey line, one behind another, each set of paws dropping into the print ahead. They travel far, but not without limit. A pack like this holds a territory of its own, a wide range of country it knows and defends against other wolves. And within those bounds, it crosses and recrosses ground without rest. They are capable killers here, and they hunt as one. Yet for all of that, they are careful. They have to be. The prize they are hunting can kill them. It stands among the willows like a piece of the landscape that learned to move. The largest deer on earth, antlers spread above a dark and heavy frame, it pulls down the willow and browses the high branches and pays the approaching pack no obvious mind. Then it turns. It does not run. It swings its great head toward the wolves and plants its feet, and in that single motion, the arithmetic of the hunt rewrites itself. A bull like this, upright and facing them, is not a meal. It is a formidable defense of hoof and heft, and every animal in the line knows it. When the pack meets a bull like this, it fans out and tests him the way water tests a bank, pressing at the edges, reading the set of the legs and the angle of the head, looking for the sign that says the animal is sick or old or weak. Wolves in this country take calves and the aged and the failing far more often than they take a sound adult in its prime. And a bull standing its ground offers none of the weakness they hunt for. There is no rush, no failed lunge, no drama, only a decision written in the way they read him. Not this one. To spend their bodies against a healthy bull is to risk the whole pack for a single meal, and a pack that gambles that way does not last. Restraint here is not weakness, it is the reason they are still alive to hunt tomorrow. So they move on, threading the willows, and the country that looked empty gives up what it has been hiding. The young are a different arithmetic. A calf is smaller, slower, unschooled in the tricks that keep the grown ones alive, and against one, the pack will reform the way it would not around a bull. This is a toll the wolves can afford. A cow puts herself between her young and the grey shapes closing in, striking out with her forelegs, and the contest becomes a matter of stride and stamina and nerve, played out across the snow wherever the wolves and the moose cross paths. The willows hold more than wolves and moose. At their margin, a black bear works its own slow circuit, an opportunistic omnivore that takes whatever the season sets in front of it, roots and berries and carrion alike. It has no part in the hunt and no wish for one. Where the strong spend themselves in the chase, this one keeps to the quieter business of the edges, turning over the ground for whatever it can find before the deep cold sends it to its den. Whatever the outcome of any single chase, the pattern holds. These wolves range widely across the valley and pull down animals far larger than themselves, and still they do not take whatever they please. They take only what they can survive taking. The bull was strength enough to refuse them, and their wisdom was in accepting the refusal. Here, the difference between a long life and a short one is knowing which fights to lose on purpose. By morning, the pack is miles off across its own wide territory, working another stretch of the range it defends. Behind them, the willows fall quiet, and the land begins to climb, up out of the wet bottoms toward bare rock and thinner air, where the forest ends and a single giant plays a game that has nothing to do with hunting at all. The forest falls away, and the land turns to stone. Black granite rises in broken teeth above a floor of amber tundra, and the wind that crosses it carries the first hard edge of autumn. This is high country, above the reach of the tallest spruce, where the year is short and the warning of winter arrives early. Nothing here is soft. The light itself has begun to fail a little sooner each evening, and every animal on the mountain can feel the season closing like a hand. On a slope below the peaks, a great bear works the tundra, one of roughly 6,000 grizzlies scattered across the Yukon. Autumn is its season of appetite, and everything it does now bends toward a single end: fat. Where the tundra reddens with ripe fruit, it strips the berry banks for close to 20 hours a day, raking the low bushes through its jaws hour after hour without pause. It is a hunter as well as a forager, and the Arctic ground squirrels of these slopes number among the animals it will take when the chance comes. But the great labor of the season is the feeding itself. The endless raking of fruit, the slow conversion of a whole mountain into stored weight. Berry by berry, mouthful by mouthful, the giant is building the layer that will save it. For now, it is winning. Its coat has thickened, its bulk has grown, and the fat it lays down beneath the fur is the one thing that will carry it through the months when the mountain offers nothing at all. But the mountain keeps its own clock, and the clock is running down. The season is turning. The days pull shorter, the first snows dust the high slopes, and the cold that arrives a little earlier each evening begins to close the mountain down. The ground squirrels retreat into their burrows for the long hibernation, harder to reach with every passing day. The berries finish on the stems. Every day the foraging costs more and returns less, and the bear can feel the balance tilting beneath it. It cannot reason with the season or argue the case for a longer autumn. It can only work faster, and it does, ranging the slopes from first light to last in a widening hunt for the final reachable calories left on the mountain. It does not have the mountain to itself. A coyote hunts the same open slopes, quick and light-footed, taking ground squirrels and voles the giant has no patience for, at home on thin crust where the big bear only labors. It is a lean, adaptable creature that collects a living almost anywhere the ground will give it one. Where the giant is built for a single, hard task, the coyote is built for many, and it asks far less of the land to stay alive. In the end, the bear wins its race. Heavy and slow now, freighted with the season it has stored, it climbs to a slope where the snow piles deep enough to insulate, and it digs a final time, not for food, but for a chamber in the earth. It turns, settles, and lets the drift close over the entrance. The failing light no longer concerns it. It has beaten the calendar by the thinnest of margins, trading a summer of relentless labor for a winter of stillness. And it will not stir again until the mountain thaws. So this is what all that size finally buys. Not mastery of the mountain, but the right to leave it. The grizzly does not face the deep cold. It disappears beneath the snow and lets the season it cannot survive pass over its head. The strongest body on the slope spends its whole autumn earning a single privilege: to sleep through the worst of the year and wake once the danger has gone. But not everything on the mountain sleeps. Beyond the peaks, out where the taiga runs on for empty miles and the snow lies deepest and hardest, one hunter neither dens nor leaves. It does not wait the winter out, it works it. Where the giant hides and the season strips the land to bone, this one goes to collect. Beyond the mountain, the taiga runs on without end. Scattered spruce stand black against a snow that lies deep and hard, and the cold sits heavier here than anywhere the forest has yet shown. This is the country the season has emptied. The bears are underground. The lighter hunters have drifted toward easier ground. What is left is a silence so complete the land itself seems to be holding its breath. And across it, alone, something is moving. Set beside the bear, it is nothing. A low, dark animal built close to the ground, and yet it crosses deep drifts and climbs snow-sealed slopes with a strength wildly out of proportion to its size. It does not stop. Mile after mile it works the empty country, nose down, reading the wind for whatever the winter has left it. A carcass frozen into a drift, a kill abandoned by wolves, a weakened hare it can run down itself. It is a hunter and a scavenger both, and in the hungriest season, it takes its living wherever the frost has stored it. To most animals, a body locked in the snow is gone, unreachable. To this one, it is a larder the cold has been stalking all winter long. It finds one. Somewhere under the snow, the wind carries it the trace of an animal that did not survive the cold. And it digs, hauling frozen meat from ground gone hard as rock, working the frozen flesh with jaws powerful enough to crush it. This is the wager it has made against the winter, and for now the wager is paying. While the strongest hunter on the mountain sleeps out the season it cannot survive, this small one walks straight into that season and takes a living from the very thing that drove the others away. It is not the only one reading the land for the dead. A raven crosses the taiga overhead, black against the grey, one of the few birds that neither leaves nor sleeps through the northern winter. From the air it sees what the traveller below cannot, the dark shape of a carcass against the snow, and it drops in to claim what lies open. Raven and Wolverine read the same empty country from opposite ends of the sky, each collecting the tax the cold has taken from everything else. And often enough the bird finds the meal first, and the Wolverine follows the wings down to it. But look closer at what the traveller does with its find, and the shape of its whole life shows through. It does not eat all it can and move on. It tears the carcass down and carries the pieces away, pressing them into the snow, burying them deep across miles of country that only it will remember. It is banking. Against the long months when even the dead run scarce, it hoards what it finds in a cellar of snow and frost, and that cellar keeps its promise only so long as the cold does. The frozen meat stays good because the ground stays frozen. The buried store survives because the drift that hides it does not fail. And there is the buried truth of the one who works the winter. It looks, more than any other hunter in the north, like an animal that has beaten the season, that goes where the cold is deepest and comes away fed while the giants hide. But it has not beaten the cold. It has bet everything on it. Its larder is the frost. Its cellar is the snow. The deep, hard winter that empties the country for everything else is the exact thing this one needs to keep its stores whole and its young hidden away in the drifts. Take the deep cold from it, and the animal that seemed to master the winter loses the one thing its whole strategy is built to trust. So even here, at the cold heart of the year, in the one hunter that neither hides nor flees, the same account is being kept. It collects what the winter kills, banks it in the winter's own ice, and raises its future in the winter's own snow. It does not stand above the season. It belongs to it more deeply than any of them. And as the traveler crosses the last ridge and drops from sight, the country falls silent again. And one question is left standing over all of it. If not the bear, and not the wolf, and not this one either, then who holds this country at all? The rivers are among the last things to give in. Long after the ponds have hardened and the ground has locked beneath the snow, the current keeps a black seam open through the white, steaming faintly into the still air. Then the cold reaches out from both banks until the ice meets in the middle, and the water that has run all year falls silent beneath it. Freeze up is the hour the north stops moving. It is also the hour the whole account comes due. Every hunter this winter has shown is a debtor of one kind or another, and every debt, followed down to its root, is owed to the same creditor. Not to one another, to the cold. This is what the snow has been saying since the first track crossed it. No predator rules the north, the cold does. It sets the length of the day and the depth of the drift, and the hour the rivers close. It decides which paws float and which break through, which meat keeps and which spoils, which animal sleeps and which starves in the open. Every advantage a hunter carries here, the wide paw that rides the powder, the buried store the frost preserves, the layer of fat that outlasts the dark, is not power over the winter. It is a payment made to it. The whole predator country is a room full of tenants, and the cold holds every lease. But a power that can be paid can also change its terms. The cold is heavy, and it is old, and it is not fixed. It has a depth, and the depth can move. Consider what a softer winter would undo. A specialist is only strong where the winter is hard. The cat that floats above the deep powder, that has staked her whole family on it, owns that advantage only while the snow stays deep and loose. Let it settle into a shallow crust, and the gift is handed to any lighter animal that can run across the top of it. The hunter that hoards a frozen larder keeps it only as long as the frost keeps faith. A store that thaws feeds nothing through the long dark. The deep cold hunters are the most finely made animals on the continent, and to be finely made for one thing is a strength only until that one thing shifts. This is no longer a change the North can only imagine. Across the Yukon, the rivers now close later in the year than they did a generation ago. And across Canada, the reach of the snow has been shrinking, its cover falling by something on the order of 5 to 10% each decade. The ground the specialists stand on is quietly narrowing beneath them. Watch the edges, and the shift is already walking in. The coyote, a creature of gentler country, is pushing steadily north into ground that hard winters once kept close to it. It is no stronger than the animals it passes, only less particular, and it follows the cold wherever the cold turns soft. When the winter loosens its grip even slightly, it is the generalist that walks into the opening. And this is the reckoning the ice hides. The whole system hangs on threads that pull as one. Let the small brown animal at the base of it turn. Let the hares fall on the long clock they have always kept. And the debt is called on every hunter at once, not one by one across easy years. The finest specialist thins first and thins fastest. The generalist, asking less and eating anything, holds on. A single easing of the cold, a single turn of a rodent's numbers, and the north does not merely pass to a new owner. It runs by new rules. So the question the falling snow asked at the beginning finds its answer. The predators never ruled this country. They followed it, followed the hares, the seasons, the failing light, and beneath all of these, the cold that set every one of those clocks running. The winter was never theirs to command. It was the ground they stood on. And now, in a freeze that arrives a little later and a snow that lies a little thinner, that ground has begun to move. The river holds a shorter while than it once did. Across the new white of it runs a single line of tracks, lighter than a lynx's, riding the crust without breaking it, pointed north into the trees. Snow begins again over the spruce, filling each track as fast as it is made, and the forest returns to the blank white it wore before any of this began. The hunters are still out in it, crossing ground none of them will ever own. They move at the winter's word, and the winter, old and heavy and set in its ways, is quietly learning to arrive a little later and lie a little thinner than it once did. For now, the cold still holds. The snow keeps falling, even and grey, settling over a country that has always answered to it.